Alright guys, I'm sitting here in the beautiful garden near my house, and I'm going to share a nice little bait that we used a while ago that worked very well for us in targeting cob in areas where there's quite a lot of pickers and where the pickers bug you and they're eating your chokka. And this bait's nice and tough, and it gives your bait a longer period in the water to get that cob you're looking for. Right, so basically what it is an ocky leg and chokka combination bait built onto the dingle dangle. Right, so I'm going to go straight into it. What you're going to need for it is your Berkeley Essential Dingle Dangle. I'm using the Berkeley Fusion 8.0 circle hook on it, and then obviously onto my ProSpec fluorocarbon as I always fish for edibles. You can go as light as you want to. I prefer to use like a 0.61 to a 0.74 type of thickness on my cob traces. Okay, so we've got our tools and then chokka and ocky leg. Alright, so we start off by placing our dingle on the chokka, and what I want a piece of chokka that's going to cover my whole dingle like that. So just going to cut a square block for now. Here's my dingle. Keep it aside. And this chokka I'll keep in the bait box for later. And continue with the bait. Alright, so I'm going to just shape this piece of chokka a little bit, cut the edges off, make it a bit round. Alright, so I'm going to shape it nice and round. We are targeting cob, and I like to make a nice looking bait for cob. So it might look like a bit of a waste of chokka, but it's not. And then cut that in half. So we've got 2 half round pieces, a dingle, and now we're going to look at our ocky leg. So obviously you want to make it a certain length, and I'm going to cut this very thin piece off and make it a bit shorter. I'm going to cut it off like that. And you can decide how long you want your ocky leg. I think the length of the bait I'm looking for is about that long, so I'm going to cut off the leg there, keep that piece because we're going to use it, and then just clean off as long as you dingle again, clean off those suckers. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, cut into the ocky leg like this and just split it open a little bit. Not all the way through, I just want to open it up a little bit so I can flatten that. Shape it, shape it. Okay, this piece here, I'm going to clean it off. Take off all the skin. I just want a nice white piece of meat. And then I cut this open as well. Alright, so I'm going to take my little chokka hammer and just tenderize this a little bit. Alright guys, so we've got everything ready, and now it's just a question of putting all of this together onto our dingle. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to hook my dingle onto my 8.0 Fusion hook. And the first thing I do is put on my ocky leg. So it's a nice tough piece of meat, as you know. So I'm just going to hook the ocky leg through the hook like that, because this bait is a bait that I'm going to use when there's a lot of blacktail and pickers in the water that's going to pick off the chokka. So this is a piece that you want to stay on the bait when after your chokka has been picked off. Right, and then we grab our cotton, and we'll cotton it on. Right, so put quite a lot of cotton on here because we do have pickers. I want this to stay on and off the cotton like that. Right, so now we take the piece of oki leg that we cut open and we place it over our dingle to cover the foam, and then obviously give a bit of body to our bait. And then cotton onto that as well. Half each over that. Okay, so as you can see, so far we got the oki leg with the other piece of oki, and I'm going to take these 2 half moons of chokka and just place it on the bait to give it a nice bit of body. One piece, and the other piece. And that is it. Half we just finish off, cotton doesn't come off. And there's a little oki leg bait with another piece of oki leg cut open, smashed, and some chokka. The chokka will be eaten off by the pickers, but that's just an attractant to get some action around your bait and some movement in the water and smell obviously. And then you're going to clip your sink onto this, and when you cast it should fly through the air nicely and unclip. And that's our little octopus leg imitation for cob. I know it works very well. I've caught some fish on this before, and it's a very tough bait, and if there's pickers in the water, that's what you want to fish with. You can stay longer, keep your bait in the zone longer, and hopefully you'll get the results.